Hello, everyone. My name is Nate, and I'm going to be taking you through a day in the life here at Total Muscle Inc., or TMI as we affectionately call ourselves. As you can see on my screen, I have an incident that I need to go and take care of. So it's automatically paged me out. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this action or this activity. As we can see, this came to my team, and we can see that it has actually fired already once. So I'm a little bit behind, but I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge this ticket right here, this incident right here in on call. And I'm going to, go ahead and go into my ServiceNow ticket and just verify that the interactions between the two systems are working as I expect. So we'll let this load, and there it is. So it automatically moved that from new to in progress as I expected it would. And let's jump into this incident to understand exactly what decisions we have. So we can see that it came to me. We can see that I'm on call. And at any given time, if I need to, I can add additional responders. I can go ahead and have everybody jump onto a conference bridge, and I can fire off additional information into our general Slack channel should I need to. But I really need to get started on it. So let's see what annotations this ticket came with. And since we already have information about our impact team in IT Service Intelligence, let's go ahead and click into that ticket to get a little bit more information about this episode. So as we come into IT Service Intelligence, we can tell the episodes that are involved in this by severity. We can see the machine learning that Splunk is doing to reduce the number of events to episode ratio. And I'm going to go ahead and hide this so that I can focus on this actual incident. So I can see that, yep, it's fired off those two tickets. And we can see that it looks like we caught this just as it's starting to go bad. We can also see that there is a number of KPIs associated with these 4 services that seem to be showing us an issue. So we can see the duration, the rate in real user monitoring, as well as in APM across this. So I'm going to jump into the topology very quickly, just to understand the impact that this is having. And we can see that there are critical and high episodes based with that exclamation point. And we can see that this is actually going all the way up the stack to our top line revenue components. But let's take a step back and go into that front end and just get a quick understanding. Okay, so we have real user monitoring, application performance monitoring, digital experience monitoring, and of course, logging events are all part of our key performance indicators. But we really focused on that payment service. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and jump into that payment service, and let's go ahead and just look at between those dates. Okay, yeah, it's gonna go ahead and take me there between those two over the last 24 hours. So I can see that this looks like there's been a recurring issue, and it seems to be going away and coming back and going away. Okay, so I'm going to jump back in. I think I have enough information now to be dangerous. I'm going to go back into my episode review, and I'm going to go ahead and own this ticket. So I'm going to own this ticket. I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, you know what? It's in progress. And now I get to start actioning. But just for reference, I want to take a look at, okay, so it all seems pretty even here. We have APM, real user monitoring. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and select some actions, and I'm going to explore this in Splunk's Observability Suite. And real user monitoring happened to be that thing that caught my eye. So we're going to start there. And I'm going to dive into real user monitoring. So in real user monitoring, I can see that spike of activity that seems to be happening. And from here, I can select on those load times, which is what you're seeing as a spike. I can click into sample sessions to understand a specific session. Thanks to distributed trace and how we are doing this, we can see each one of those activities from document loads to console errors. We can select on any one of these and go right from real user monitoring into the actual APM trace. And as you can see from every one of these hyperlinked APM URLs, we can go right from the real user monitoring into the application performance monitoring. And we can see this from that checkout perspective. We can also take a look at the entire workflow, just as we'd seen in IT service intelligence from a business perspective, but now focus on that application aspect. And as you can see, Splunk is doing a phenomenal job of giving us an indication of where there are errors and the increase in error rate. So we can focus in on that payment system or payment service, and we can start doing a breakdown to better understand and orientate ourselves. We can select things based on the tagging in distributed search, in distributed trace by, say, node name. Well, okay, we have one node that's associated, but how many pods do we have? Okay, so we have 2 pods. So now I'm narrowing down that focus. And you know what? I think I have enough here to understand that the cause looks to be on this pod. So from here, I'm going to go right into the logs because now I need to go into that root cause analysis activity. And off to the right, we can see the identified fields that are coming out of the logging events. And because we, started with pod, I should go ahead and continue with that. And as I can tell here, the noisiest one happens to be that one that was showcasing the errors. So I'm going to just click to include this in my filtered query up at the top. And more importantly, I'm going to go ahead and take and also include errors in my filter. Okay, so now I have all the errors with that pod. But you know what? Always good to double check. So let's double check this and remove that pod name to see if off on the right-hand side here, there's any updates. And no, that's the only pod that's creating errors in this entire environment associated with that service. So now we can go in with confidence and identify what it is that's having an issue here. So we can see, status code for this call was 400, which essentially is server error. And we can see that the message is failed payment processing, SSL certificate mismatch. Well, that's kind of strange. If we look back at the other system, let's actually do that real quick. Let's go ahead and remove that error. And yep, we can see that. And we can see this one that's stable is doing just fine. We can see the trace information. It is version 1. You know what? This looks like that pod either has been manipulated or, we just need to destroy it and try again. So we're going to do this in 2 ways. I'm a big believer in making sure that we identify issues like this and provide ourselves with a good monitoring strategy. So let's go back into APM because that leading indicator of error rate really seemed to be the focus. So in Splunk for APM, there are pre-built dashboards that automatically come out for our red matrix. We're going to go ahead and use that pre-built content for error rate and create a quick detector or KPI, key performance indicator for this. So I'm going to go ahead and my alert condition is going to be that sudden change. We'll use statistical analysis to identify what normal is, and we'll, create an alert or an event based on a sudden change from that. And I will go ahead and add a recipient, and Victor Ops or On Call, take your pick of name. We're going to add this payment service team as a recipient so that they get it. But more importantly, we also get to add that into our episodes. And I'm going to go ahead and proceed to activating this alert. But just like ShamWow, we're not done yet. I need to go back into IT Service Intelligence, because from here, I can also run an additional action. I can go in and I can actually use Phantom or our orchestration and automation system to create a task. So I have a K8s rebuild payment runbook. And so I'm going to use this runbook to actually do that. And because I know that I just want to rebuild that one, we're going to go ahead and rebuild the payment service on the fly, because I know that that can be done. And we're going to click the done button, and away that goes to be orchestrated and automated in a way. Now, the last little bit of this is I need to go back into my incident from an on-call perspective. And what I need to also do is I need to message to the team, payment service pod is an issue. Excuse me. Yep, is an issue and needed to rebuild. Used Phantom playbook to complete rebuild pods. All right, so I'm going to send that off to the team. They will see that. I will go ahead and resolve this for the time being, and I'll have the payment service team go ahead in the ServiceNow ticket, go ahead and look at this activity. Thank you all for watching as we went through this. Again, here at TMI, we believe in trying to get things done and accomplished as fast as possible. Thank you and happy Splunking.